On the last day, we were placing wood effect ceramic on the outside, so today we find this as it is. A super beautiful part and about to be finished, and this part that is terrible. So today we are going to deal with this whole wall, well, and part of the floor. First the cleaning. We'll clean them thoroughly as we know what can happen with these things. This wall, the truth is that it's in very bad shape, not only because it's made of smeared bricks, but because I don't know. When they installed it, they left mortar on the outside. They then put blobs, which are here, all these blobs of mortar. It's quite uneven and ugly. At first glance you can't see it, but it has grime to spare. Once clean, we're going to apply the bonding bridge. While we let this bonding bridge dry. I'm going to continue up the stairs. We're going to apply the first coat of mortar, and thus we're going to start seeing some finished things. I've already applied the first coat to the step. It will need a second one to finish leveling, but we'll do that in a second round. Well, a few hours have passed, so we can proceed to the plastering. I have to carry up a couple of bags, right? They are heavy. It's mine. This one's not very heavy. But who is following you?
What brings you here?
What are you? Are you here to check up? Haven't you come today?
How does the cat jump?
Oh, what a fright! I mistook the fluff for your mask. I mean that... We're going to continue with this part here. We should actually continue here, then placing the mortar. But the truth is that our back hurts a little, we're tired, so we're going to stop for a break, she said. My mother is going to paint the walls that are going white, and I am here removing this from here. The truth is that tonight I'm giving it a lot of thought, and I think the wood effect would look very nice. Also here it's more work, well yes, but it's something that doesn't let me go. Sleep?
I'm not gonna leave you alone.
I'm going to be going around in circles, so it's better to just do it. And that's it. Can I sleep more peacefully tonight? Good morning. Yes, we have less left. Now we are painting. Now we are starting with the front part here. Now it looks a little bland because without the white plant, it looks bland, but... Your show is over, Mom. I'm here alone too. It turned out well, didn't it? Now I'm already covering the bottom parts. Today we are going to continue on the floor. Yesterday we finished this wall that had a couple of little details left and it turned out this beautiful. But now what we're going to do is get involved with the floor. A couple of days ago we covered these big holes, but today what we're going to do is pour a self-leveling compound. This part has turned out quite well, although we'll have to do some finishing touches, especially around the pillars in the corners. Fluff. This roller is special for when we apply this type of mortar, for when there is any little bubble left. Watching the spectacle of the entrance. Very good. It's been a few days since we last put self-leveling mortar because we've had to do a lot of things. We're busy with multiple tasks simultaneously, including flooring, the entrance, bedrooms, bathroom, basically everything. So today we should continue with the mortar to level. However, we are making a hole here in the flower bed to place the little plants. We are removing this soil because we don't know if it's good substrate and changing it, well, for good substrate, basically. If the color isn't bad, then yes, we're doing this instead of continuing that part over there. Well, number one, because we are short of bags. And, well, that's not the most important because we could make a panther and leave the next one. The most important in this case is that I have brought these plants, which is the Aspiristra, from my home. The Aspiristra is a beautiful plant and I think it's going to look amazing in this area, but it was incredibly hard for me to get it out from where it was. I took it out of two planters. In fact, the planter that I have at my house, I found both of them in the trash container. It was already half dead and I brought it home, and from a small planter, I got two planters. But as a couple of years ago, they have been growing and have become giants. And the vast majority have come out with the root, but it's true that some don't have much root. In fact, look, it would be this more or less what I could get from scratch. What happens that as I planted them here, well, I have planted in these two pots, thinking that I was going to do it soon. Well, some have already taken on a somewhat wilted color. So I'm not going to wait any longer to transplant it. We're going to do it today because I'm afraid they'll get like pansies and take on that color. For the leaves to turn green again after changing color, it takes some time, right? On the other hand, we have the one we're also going to place, which is this one here, if I remember correctly. It was Strelitzia Nicolai. The transplant to these cubes was done when Ivan's family visited. You would have seen it, or you will see it in Ivan's video. Basically, so they would have more substrate and grow more. The problem is that we only made holes at the bottom. And since this is so unplanned, as a planter, notice that the soil is quite moist and it takes a long time to dry. So I'm a little afraid that it's too waterlogged and it ends up dying. And some already have a color like this, a bit pale. It's true that it gets a lot of sun there and I hope they don't end up getting burned, please. I hope and wish. But well, the idea is that to put these in the spathiphyllum that I've shown you, in turn I'm going to show you what I'm going to set up as an irrigation system. Why? Well, because if I have to remember to water them myself, those plants are dead. I have some here that I brought from my grandmother's house. This automatic irrigation, which is actually solar. This here is solar, and that's why it doesn't need to be connected to the power.
You program
The number of hours before it activates. So that's the idea and the plan. This is placed in a bottle to collect the water. Oh, what's over here? You're not biting it, are you? Wow, everything on top. If you set it for 12 hours, it takes 12 hours to turn on, it turns on, and then the water starts to come out. I think it's a great invention, as it eliminates the need to worry about watering. Now the sun is going to come out after it started to rain, practically. Another good part about planting them now is that the weather is quite good for transplanting, whereas if it's very hot, it's not entirely advisable to do it. And also, another added value is that later in the summer, they will be taller, more grown, and that area will look much more beautiful. And not a bit sparse, like now. Of course, as it's so long, it will look a bit poor, but as they grow, it will look cooler. So will we see it more tidy by this summer? My mother is going to do the shopping with the Bezier's cart, the substrate shopping. I am
Already tired. We're going to hit soon.
Yes, we just finished this part, which looks amazing. Everything is so white and cool, a significant change from before. Please. First we put the Nikolai in the middle. This one goes to the back, this one goes in the middle, and this one goes here. The first one, because each of Ivan's nieces planted one, so they know which one they planted.
These three would be in the middle. That's it.
We planted that one, and then we decided I'm planting the last one, which is this one. Well, it's the turn of the Spidistra now. We put it on each side of Nikolai. That had to chop off the top part because it didn't fit. I should have thought about it before, precisely for this, so that it would be at the same height.
One more little whim before we go on?
For now, I think that would be it.
It looks more finished, yes. It looks like they are blocks of wood.
That's all for today. We'll continue tomorrow with the 2 remaining parterre sections for further improvements. We have to finish giving them the leveling, just like we did with this one, which, by the way, turned out super well. And we will also paint this wall that today. In fact, Ivan has given a second coat to the areas that looked bad, which were this part here and a little in the middle. And I've done all the corners so they would finally be perfect. Yesterday, we were setting up the automatic solar-powered irrigation for the front yard, as we'll be away for 2 weeks and want to ensure the plants are watered. Ivan was also adding a missing tile, but when we finished that, we went to a really cool place. Some followers came and told us that there were things they didn't know what to do with and asked if we wanted to take a look. So we went to their house and took all of this. In addition to everything, I will show you many things. I really loved these little plants. And they just told me that since they were going to leave, they wouldn't be able to water them, and in the end, they were going to wilt. So I say, no. These little plants are going to look divine somewhere in the house. Some resemble miniature palm trees, and they don't prick. It's perfect for our needs. And these 2 that I have to look at? Is it more like a strelitzia, like the one we have planted at the beginning, or more like an elephant's ear? Because it also looks a bit like it, so I don't know. I have to look at it. In addition to this, we take these mirrors and these artificial plants, which are actually super beautiful. I saw that one first and I say, wow, how cool. Over here, a few feet to also place plants. I am a bit obsessed with plants. You already know these 2 are the same, and you can put the pots like this, and even here, well, put what is each thing. I told them, well, to use it for a garden, also to put, well, I don't know, some strawberries and so on. And these over here, which are also super nice and also foldable. That one to make a corner, and this one, well, for a straighter wall. And this is the crown jewel, which is spectacular. This chair, this goes outside, but since it's a little broken, they used it to sit on. We will fix this and... The chair is spectacular and can't be cooler. I've shown half of it, but there are still minor details remaining. Well,
A lot of things, especially a lot of plants.
one of the mirrors that I still haven't shown, but it's super nice. So we take this opportunity to send a special greeting to the two girls, to Yvette and Martina, their parents, and to their parents. And to thank them, of course, for everything they have given us, which will be very useful to us.
Which is not a small thing.
Here is the mirror I was telling you about, which is super beautiful. What a beauty. Also this swing over here and the shading, that one we are going to use. Well, just now that the extreme heat season is coming, we are going to put a little shade with some hooks that came. And also this little basket over here with all kinds of fertilizers for little plants and a lot of things to take care of the plants. I just showered because we made plans with some friends today. Well, we have to go to the place and all that. We're not doing so well on time, but I put my work clothes back on because we still have about an hour and a half left. I'm going to plant the plants that my father brought me from my grandmother. I don't know if I've shown them to you. I would say no. What a mess. Oh my goodness. Yes, I have shown it to you. I showed it to you in a video. It was the Clivia that I wanted to bring in a previous video. Well, my father has already brought it and I would like to plant it now because there are many little plants together and I think they have little space. It's amazing because it doesn't seem like it, but in truth you shower and the water comes out black. Well, not black, it comes out like sandy brown. And actually you don't notice that there's so much dirt in the environment. It's like, well, yes, dust is generated at the construction site and all, but we haven't really done anything super dirty to say that the water comes out brown, but it does. There are little things that I keep forgetting, and they also gave us this. We'll use it to water the small plants that they've already placed in the shade. I plan to get water without turning on the faucet. Yes, it seems to be from the tape family. Yes, it's a succulent, doesn't it seem? The substrate was quite dry. And how long are we going to take to return? Because my parents are coming next weekend, but we are not. Hey, I love this palm tree, don't I, Mom? This one seems to be the same, but smaller. It appears to have grown roots on top of the trunk. This is another one from the same, I believe it's the same, but smaller. Baby version, baby Yoda, baby plant. There are a few small palm trees. Hopefully they all survive. I'm heading to work.
To the pool, hey!
Hey, transplanting the one from Grandma, the Clivia. It was just when I started recording, these are the Clivias. Therefore, I should throw. Let's see how I do it. And now we really have them set. It turned out so nice. Yes, the floor got a little dirty. Thank goodness we haven't done the one in the back yet. Now, freshly showered hands. And well, anyway, I'm going to add a little bit of fertilizer to the water, which they also gave us. Them? They also gave us mysteries of their little tree. It's horribly, horribly, horribly hot. Although, well, we said we would never complain about the heat again. Welcome, never leave. That's right, with a little umbrella.
With that hint of acidity, but it's good.
You can tell it's natural, right?
Naturally, right? Today it's going to me.
Today we are going to start with the zone that is the worst in the whole house.